It's in session. You know what that means? You know what that means? It's Smark Court, baby boys and baby girls. I'm your judge, MCZX. This is it. We're doing it live. I wanted to shoot this one, but work has been a big priority before WrestleMania comes down here, and I gotta make my money, babies. Oh, also, before we get into what's on the docket today, we have to talk about what's going to happen next week. Listen, the WWE Roundup is not going to happen on Thursday like it normally does. Unfortunately, I'll be working Thursday, and if I get off on time, maybe I'll be able to do it. But I think I'm not going to have enough time because I have to watch that SmackDown, that NXT, that 205 Live, and well, I'll be off on Monday, so I'll see Raw. And yes, I'm in a judge's thing, but yeah, if it doesn't come out Thursday night, it'll be up Friday evening. Let's just shoot for that. But now, let's talk about it. People need to be sentenced. People need to be destroyed. Where is my bailiff? My bailiff is not here. He must be sleeping. Oh, I can get him for one of these episodes, and this would look a little bit better. And I'm serious. I'm in my judge's attire. Anyway, guys, let's talk about the news. My sources are nice and queued up on my trusty laptop, who's dying a little bit. But let's talk about some news. Starting with probably one of the most important pieces of news. Jon Bravo's video came out today via YouTube. Everyone knows about this. Has been reported. This video is about 21 minutes long. It's about the wellness, fitness, nutrition deal with Richard Rodriguez. And the problem I've had with this, this goes over all the evidence that's been talked about, including like the John Cena, the Jinder Mahals, the Roman Reigns, Mark Wahlberg, Josh Duhamel, all those people. It's about how they're getting these steroids or nutrition solution enhancers or whatever they call them, and it's for them to stay in shape. Clearly, these things are illegal. That's why Richard Rodriguez is in jail right now. So, what do I feel about this? Well, I sentenced Jon Bravo to nothing. John didn't do anything wrong. John didn't have enough evidence to prove that Roman Reigns or Mark Wahlberg were in the wrong if they actually ordered anything. When there's not enough evidence, you can't just say or make claims that that person's guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty. And there's not enough evidence to prove that they are in the wrong. They say Roman made an order with a WFN, but he didn't. Same for Wahlberg. I had two issues with the video, though. They had a picture of John Cena with, what's the guy's name? Jesse B. He's a.k.a. Jesse Ventura, not the real Jesse Ventura, some bodybuilder guy. And he took a picture with John Cena. And automatically I'm like, okay, wait a minute. There's no evidence against John Cena. But because he took a picture with the guy, now John Cena's in this thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Took a mean I'm guilty by association. And I hope that's not the case, but there's not enough evidence to prove that. So you can't make claims that he's in there if there's not enough evidence to do so. And the same goes, Gender did say this Chris Cavarini guy is the reason he's so in shape. Been arrested already for illegal, like drugs, not drugs, using steroids or shipping steroid, and he got caught for something. It's in the thing. You can watch it on YouTube, but he got caught. But Mahal credits him with his fitness transformation, which is cool and everything. But association is because he's friends with the guy. If he's friends with the guy and the guy just gave him some good nutrition tips, then that's a different case. But if he's supplying him with this stuff, then yeah, we have an issue. But if you have no evidence to prove he's doing that, can't say Jinder Mahal is actually on steroids. He actually might be clean eating and saying what he's saying to be true. Like, you know, he doesn't have a cheat day. He works out, I think, with 3 times a day. He watches what he eats heavily. He doesn't pig out. You know, the guy is probably well disciplined, and I don't want to just take that away from him. But then again, when you look at his chest and his back, you can tell that he's got bumps and pimples and side effects of steroids. Like, you have gyno, and you shouldn't have gyno if you're working out your chest so much. Like, I have gyno from eating McDonald's too much, and I should have stopped when I was a kid, but I didn't. And now I have man boobs. But hey, that's what happens when you don't have the information. But as for Jon Bravo's thing, I sentence you all to watch it. Give it it a good 21 minutes. Make your own opinions on it. I don't think it was a bad film, but without enough evidence, you can't make these blockbuster claims and, you know, not deliver on it. But it's worth the watch to see this entire freaking scenario and everything go down, because it's weird. So we can X that out. I don't talk about that anymore. Next, this is via Sam Roberts' podcast. This is short news. Roman Reigns says that the greatest Royal Rumble that's happening in Abu Dhabi is going to probably be a network special. This isn't confirmed yet, but if Roman says it, you might as well believe it. Probably true. We'll just cut that. Now, I did a video on the next thing we're talking about, which is the Moolah Battle Royal being changed to the Women's Battle Royal. Now, I did this when I broke the news that the name was changed. Hence, the internet doesn't forget anything, which is in the title. The internet will never forget your past, especially if you make it public. If everything she did was private, I guarantee we wouldn't have an issue with this being called the Moolah Battle Royal. But because we know what we know, and people who've actually read wrestlers' books, memoirs, and all that other good stuff, watched the shoot interviews and everything, and you know what you know about Moolah, it's a slap in the face to women across the world to actually have a battle royal named after her, which is not cool. Thankfully, after a large amount of outcry and Snickers not having it, because you know Snickers is sponsoring the WrestleMania coming to New Orleans, this was not going to happen. So the Moolah Battle Royal was not canceled; it's just renamed. If you want to know what happened to what Moolah did in her past and everything, go to my past video, the breaking news about the Moolah Battle Royal being renamed. The Reddit link is in there. You can read it for yourself and be like, oh my goodness, she pimped all those women. She ruined a black woman's life. She screwed Mad Maxine out of becoming the next big woman's thing in WWE. What a complete B. I sentence Fabulous Moolah, word salad. I sentence all those that wanted it to be called the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal to deletion, which will be our thing, because my name is Matt and I'm a little broken, so why not Judge Matt, delete things. But yes, Moolah Battle Royal, that's dead and gone. Via Twitter, the next thing on the docket is Macaulay Culkin and Rusev. Now, you're probably wondering why the hell would Macaulay Culkin and Rusev be in the same sentence? If you aren't on Twitter, Rusev has been lobbying for a match at WrestleMania with a celebrity. Now, everyone out the woodworks has been coming out. The Rock suggested Kevin Hart and said you'd have to, work his STD, which I thought was funny. Kevin has not responded from what I can see. But Rusev wants a celebrity match, and the man who answered was none other than Macaulay Culkin, which was weird because a lot of us, like Home Alone, I mean, we've seen Macaulay at PWG, but at the same time, why is Rusev going to fight Macaulay Culkin? So Macaulay says, "Sign me up. I want to be in the match." I'm about to pull up the tweet so we can tell you it verbatim. He says, I need a celebrity to fight. So, Rusev. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. All right, so Rusev said, after Macaulay said, I am officially accepting Rusev Bull's challenge at WrestleMania. Challenge to wrestle him at this year's WrestleMania. You heard it here, folks. Come at me, bro. So Rusev responds with, I could not hit little Heaven McAllister or Richie Rich. And, of course, Macaulay says, don't worry, bro. I'll be doing all the hitting. And that's basically it. That's basically it. Rusev is still lobbying for a match with a celebrity at WrestleMania. He tweeted that March 17th. The wait continues. I don't know who's going to answer it. Hopefully, it is not... hope it's not like Keanu Reeves or Mojo Rawley or something. That would upset me. Why did I say Keanu Reeves? I don't know. Keanu might do it. I don't freaking know. But that's off the docket. I send everyone who's against this to a mighty and hearty deletion because screw you. This is going to be funny. I wish we could get Culkin versus Rusev, but maybe not. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now going to Dirty Sheets. Credit them because they have the story. Some dickhead named Brad Shepard tried to steal this report from them, but I don't know why you would do that. If you know the Dirty Sheets wrote this, you need to give them credit. So I will try to link. Oh, I can link this in the description. I'll link these in the description, the ones I'm reading from the Dirty Sheets. Basically, if you aren't going to read all this, the Dolph Ziggler and Shane McMahon match has been cut. We're not doing that anymore. Why? Because the original plan was to bring Owens and Zayn, as it says. We're going to bring Owens and Zayn to Raw to face the Bar at WrestleMania. That was the spot. This is what they said. That's who the spot was being left open for. This would have left the door for Ziggler versus Shane. This would have left Braun Strowman facing Kane in a casket match. This was a Vince McMahon idea. Okay with this, given that the Strowman and Kane feud hasn't ever been blown off, and McMahon's genuine love for Glenn Jacobs, which is fine. But this never happened, of course. Continuing to read, I'm just skimming through these things that we don't need to hear. So the plan was for Owens and Zayn to complain about being screwed at Fastlane, and for Daniel Bryan to agree and put them into a tag match versus Styles and Nakamura, but the stipulation would be if they won, they get added to the Nakamura versus Styles match, making it a fatal four-way. Shane said if they would lose, they would get fired from SmackDown, and that's how we get to Raw. Now, this match is still happening. This probably happened already this Friday, but that's not happening now because Braun is now the #1 contender for the tag team. Okay, I guess. And yeah, so you have this other feud with Shane McMahon, which is clearly going to culminate at WrestleMania. So where's the leave Dolph Ziggler? Nowhere, really. Nowhere. They say, meanwhile, Dolph Ziggler, who was left off of TV last night, looks to be left out in the cold, not for the first time in his career. However, as Dolph Ziggler just recently signed a new contract with certain guarantees, and given that he's hugely popular with WWE sponsors, one of the main reasons WWE re-signed him, it'll be very interesting to see how things develop. So, yeah, that's it. That's end quote, by the way. Now, how I feel about this, if Ziggler's going to be doing something, I propose that if Daniel Bryan's going to be able to get this one wrestling match, and since Ziggler's never had this one-on-one match, despite him claiming it was a joke, if we're not doing that, let Daniel Bryan face Dolph Ziggler. There. He'll keep picking at Daniel, and Daniel will have enough and put himself in a match against Dolph Ziggler. I mean, he's the GM. He could do that. If Kurt can put himself in a match with Triple H, why can't Daniel do that with Dolph Ziggler? So they both have something to do. And it would be kind of hot because I think Ziggler wouldn't mind putting him over, but he's safe to work with, and Daniel's not going to get, like, completely concussed. But I don't think WWE would ever sign off on that. But, yeah, Dolph Ziggler versus Shane isn't happening. Dirty Sheets reported. It will be in the link. You can read everything there. I just read a little bit. Also via Twitter and the Dirty Sheets, you have to be a Patreon for this. But my brother told me this. He read it. So if you're a Patreon subscriber to the Dirty Sheets, you can read this. I don't have the link because I don't have a Patreon at the moment. So once I make a Patreon and I can send them $1 every month, I can read these things. And I can't send it to you anyway because that's against the terms and conditions of Patreon. But if you are a Patreon subscriber to the Dirty Sheets, this news also broke. Bayley and Sasha Banks got canceled. Apparently, this is due to backstage heat. I think both of them are upset because they are not getting that 4 horsewoman match, the UFC versus the WWE. And since that's not happening, they've just been quite vocal about it. And there's tweets. Banks isn't in much trouble as Bayley is. Bayley's in a lot of trouble backstage for some reason. And yeah, I'm sure if you go and send the Dirty Sheets $1, you can read that entire story. And that's not a knock at them or anything. It's just, yeah, it's for the Patreon. That's fair. But it's because just backstage heat. And I don't think their match is going to happen there because maybe there's not enough time anyway. Bayley said this in the interview. There's not going to be enough time to tell the story. I suggest that if they're not doing it at WrestleMania, they do it the Raw after Mania. I'm sure these two will be in the Women's Battle Royal, which is fine. But if it needs to have an end at that Raw. The Raw after Mania needs to be the end of Bayley and Sasha Banks. I'm just saying, it needs to happen there. Let's see, 2 more things on the docket. Okay, so Guitar World had an interview with Elias, which was a very nice interview, I must say, myself, because it got me hype. And we're going to read from this interview some things. So, Elias may be releasing music. My prayers have been answered because I have been asking for this for the longest, and I don't know why I'm talking like this now, but you guys just don't understand how much I have been asking for some Elias music or an EP, an album, something, and it's finally coming to us. And he said if the freaking article would load so we can quote him properly. Come on, Guitar World. What's your problem? What's your problem, bro? Why you don't want to work? I want you to work, and yet you won't work. Why, bro? You load everything else, bro, but you don't load this one piece of news? Why? Why you do this? Shame on you, bro. Basically, Elias said he might be releasing some music. That's the gist of it. Here we go, finally. Okay, so this is what he said. Recording songs with WWE. In regards to that, quote, I absolutely believe WWE, which, if you're not aware, stands for Walk with Elias. The company is taking notice of what I'm doing every week, and there's absolutely plans in the works to record music, release music, put it out there, give them the sound of Elias that they can take with them. They can have it on their phone. They can have it wherever or whatever music format they have. So it might be happening, folks. I really want it. There was some other interesting things about if there was pressure to create original songs each week and perform them at WrestleMania 34 and playing the piano on Raw. You can read the full interview at guitarworld.com. I will link in the description so you can read that. And finally, okay. So Friday, as you all know, was the MSG match. And we had this scary news that AJ Styles was injured at the show. This is via NoDQ.com. Shout out to Aaron Riff and everybody out there. This is from their site. So, as previously noted, quote, as previously noted, WWE did an injury angle with AJ Styles at Friday night's live event at Madison Square Garden. In addition to Madison Square Garden, AJ Styles did not compete at the Saturday's live event in Odessa, which has led to speculation that Styles has a legitimate injury. Okay, it's possible that Styles was injured last week and the angle at MSG was done to write Styles out of the weekend live events. Here's what Uncle Dave Meltzer of F4W Online said about the situation of the Wrestling Observer. On the Wrestling Observer, according courtesy of RingsideNews.com. This is Dave. Quote, Dave Meltzer. So, last night at Madison Square Garden, it was supposed to be AJ Styles and Nakamura against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and it turned into a singles match with Nakamura and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn interfered. AJ did make the save, but they actually did an injury angle before the match. I don't know I didn't know if that was. People said they thought it was an injury. The injury was probably suffered beforehand, and this was an angle set up to cover it. And then tonight in Odessa, Styles wasn't there, and they actually announced it before the show that Styles was injured in Madison Square Garden. So that's all I really know now. Don't know the severity. We will probably know more in the morning. I also read somewhere else. I want to say it's the Dirty Sheets, thanks to my friend who's a Patreon. He read this to me in the car. He said AJ's had a calf injury for a while, and that is why they did this angle. AJ's been hurt for a minute. I hope that's not the case. Here's what I suggest. Let's not make AJ work till Mania. Let's let him cut his promos and make sure he can go for WrestleMania, because I would hate for him to push himself to the point and accidentally hurt himself, and then we have to rewrite the entire main event for WrestleMania or the sub main event, whatever. I'll feel so cheated if I don't get to see AJ Styles versus Nakamura at WrestleMania, and it is right here in my hometown. Like, you guys have no idea how upset I would be. I'm like, this is the whole point. I got tickets just so I can see this match, and now it can't happen. I'm hoping this isn't it. Who reported this? I'm sentencing you a block on Twitter. I'm blocking you on Twitter. I'm unfollowing you and muting you because you raised my anxiety, and I didn't need that to happen. I was doing fine. I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. April's going to be fine. And then you say this, and I'm like, oh, no, it's in jeopardy. I hope this is all rumors. This isn't factual. I would prefer to stay that way. If it doesn't, I'm going to be crushed. But I sent you all to a one-day mute on Twitter. Like, please don't at me. Don't tell me nothing at Smart Kingdom on Twitter. Don't tell me anything. But that's it for this week from the 12th to the 18th. I think we covered everything that's important. New Japan is doing the New Japan Cup right now. The finals are, well, I think it's the 20th over there. So it's happening right now. As for Impact, I'm not really watching Impact, so I can't really comment. Ring of Honor, I have to catch up on that. And everything else, yeah. If there's any news I missed, please leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get to it and leave my opinion in the comments with you guys. But this has been the first inaugural episode of This is the Smark Court. Yeah, this has been weird. I don't know if we should keep doing these live. We might do them live. Might just leave them live. Thinking too much right now. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. You got something to watch tomorrow, but this is it. You've been sentenced to watch another episode. You will watch another episode. I'm Judge MCZX. Judge MCZX. You will watch another episode, because that's what I'm sentencing you to, because we're going to do this again. And that's it. Now have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good whatever you're doing right now. And don't be a dick to people, or you will be deleted. You will be deleted. I'm about to burp. There it was. Anyway, Smark Court. That's all your news in wrestling. Hopefully we'll get a better news week next week, because there wasn't a lot of stuff to talk about. This is pretty light. Nothing major besides the Moolah thing. But it's Judge MCZX. You have been sentenced to another episode. Watch it. You will watch it, okay? You will watch it. Watch the WWE Roundup, and you will watch the Smark Court the next episode when it comes to you. Hopefully we'll have a better news week. Where's my gavel? Where's my gavel? This is my gavel for now. Court is dismissed. Goodbye. And good night.